because she gets into a good crossing position, she squares it, nobody is there to finish. Um, I mean, I say nobody is there to finish, but the one time that somebody was there to finish, unfortunately, Chinwendu Ehezuo just could not convert. You know, I saw some people that were insulting her. Oh, she's this, she's that, because she missed that chance. And I will say, do I think she should have scored? Absolutely. You get a golden chance like that, you have to finish, you have to convert. But am I going to use that miss to now say, oh, she's rubbish? No. I have other things that I will complain about Ihezuo's performance in the first half today, because she only played the first half. But is it because of that one chance that she missed? No. It wasn't the easiest chance in the world. I think she should have scored it, but I also think it wasn't the easiest chance in the world. And then the goalkeeper was good to make a save. So I'm not even going to vex for her for that. Um, what I will say that she didn't do quite well at was just her overall movement and connection with Ajibade and the attack and the midfielders as well. There was a time that Uchebe won the ball back in advanced midfield position, and she played the ball to Hezu, and for whatever reason, she just didn't control the ball. She just seemed to be on her heels most of the time rather than on her toes, ready to sprint and ready to pounce on any opportunity. And it's a bit surprising to me, because Ihezuo is a player that normally plays with a lot of energy. Normally she plays with a lot of energy. She's very active. So I was quite surprised that for whatever reason today she was not really at it. She didn't seem to be moving much. She didn't seem to be communicating with her players. Almost every time Rashidat got into the box, tried to look, and she looks up, there was nobody there. That's why sometimes she just has to kick it off the Brazilian player and get a throw in or get a corner kick, because there's nobody to cross it to. So that one surprised me a little bit. I want to give credit to Deborah Abiodun. I was writing my notes as I was watching the game, things that I wanted to talk about. And initially, Abiodun, in the first few minutes of the game, she gave away one free kick, and I was like, hope she's not going to have another rush of blood. I guess I got a little bit scared, because I remember the game against what's it called? The game against Canada at the World Cup last year. And I was thinking, hope she's not going to have a rush of blood and she's going to be fouling a lot in this game. But for the rest of the match, she was able to, compose herself very well. She was able to make a lot of tackles, a lot of interceptions. And I think, in my opinion, other than maybe Rashida Ajibade, Abiodun was probably our best player today. Some people might even say Abiodun was better than Rashidat, because when the coach moved Rashidat away from the right wing into the center of the park in the second half, her effectiveness reduced. She started getting the ball less. Maybe the coach did that because he felt like she could help us to control the midfield a little bit more. But essentially, when she moved into the midfield, her effectiveness just dropped. She wasn't getting on the ball as much as she was initially. But I think Abiodun did her job for almost the entire match when she was there. I will look at her statistics properly after the game, but I know, like, from what I was seeing, Abiodun was good in that match, and I give credit to her. A college player, 21 years old, playing on a big stage like this is not very easy. And for her to be able to put in the kind of shift that she did, it bodes well for the future. We have to look at a player like Abiodun and say, boy, when she starts playing professional football, because we have to realize that she's not even a professional yet. When she starts playing professional football, there's a lot of ability in her, and there's so much that she can do for herself, in her club career as well as for the national team. I would also give kudos to Chiamaka Nadozie, our goalkeeper. I guess there's only so much that you can say about Chiamaka, because there's nothing that surprises us about Chiamaka anymore. We know how good she is. We know that she's one of the best goalkeepers in the world, even though the rest of the world doesn't give her credit that she deserves. We know she's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. And today, when she was called upon, she showed up. She answered the call when she was called upon. The goal that we considered, Gabi Nunes, I think even if you put 5 Chiamakas in that goal, in that post, she might not save it. It was a fantastic goal by Gabi Nunes. Chiamaka was, she made a good save from a header at her near post. And I feel like when she was called upon, she was very good. In our defense, Osnachi Hale and Tosin Dimein, I think their communication could have been better. I think their organization could have been better. I think they could have done better in terms of bringing the ball from defense into the midfield into the attack. A lot of the time we're just clearing the ball and allowing Brazil to come back at us. A lot of the time we're losing possession cheaply. But overall, I'm not going to knock them at all for their performance. I think they did fairly well. And I'll give them kudos. I think our fullbacks today were not at their best game. Our fullbacks today were just not at their best. Chidima Okeke, good defensively, but does not offer too much going forward, playing from the left, back position. Unfortunately for her, she's not a left-footed player, and there's only so much that she can do in the attack. We clearly missed the influence of Ashley Plumter or from that left back position, because we know how Ashley is able to advance the ball forward, is able to contribute a lot going forward, and help the attack as well as be solid in defense. So Okeke didn't have a very good game today. We must say. It was no surprise when the coach eventually pulled her off. Alozie, funny enough, in the first half, I felt like Alozie was a bit shaky. In the first half, I felt like it wasn't necessarily her best performance. And interestingly, to me, for about the last 20 minutes or so, when she was switched to the left and Nicole Payne came on to play the right, I thought Alozie actually stepped up a little bit more. I feel like she was playing decent enough balls for Ajibade in that first half. She created about one or two chances in the game, so I wouldn't knock her too much. But for somebody that is naturally a forward player and playing as a defender, you would expect that she's able to offer more going forward. I'm talking about Michelle Alozie. So that's the only thing that I can really say, that wasn't too great about her performance today. But I think overall, pretty decent job that she did. I wouldn't knock her too much. In the midfield, I already spoke about Deborah Abiodun. Abiodun was everywhere today. Typically when Christy Uchebe is on the field, she's the star of the midfield. But I will say today, Abiodun really showed herself. Abiodun showed that she has the energy, she has the pace, she has the instincts to know where to be, to make tackles, to make interceptions. Uchebe was also quite decent, but she wasn't as solid, in her duels today. She lost a lot of duels today, and that's not something that normally happens. I don't know if it was just maybe a bad day for her. I don't know if it was maybe the atmosphere of the game. I don't know if it was because of the team setup, because we were quite overrun in that midfield, I will say. But Uchebe just was not as strong and solid in midfield like she usually is. I know that she will have a better game next time. I'm almost certain of that. It's not an easy game, but I'm almost certain that she'll do better. But it was just something that I noted, that she wasn't as solid in her duels today. She was losing out in some duels that normally she wins with some fair ease. And then, of course, she had one shot in the first half that the goalkeeper saved quite well. And she had another shot in the second half that the goalkeeper saved as well, which wasn't too threatening. She was trying to be supportive of the attack, which I give her credit for, and I'm sure the coach asked her to. But what we know her for normally, running around the field, making tackles, winning interceptions, I guess maybe because she had Abiona to do that, she was able to give herself a little bit of a break, But that's what I noticed about Christy Uchebe today. Somebody says Christy Uchebe was shooting more than the strikers. She really was. She really was shooting. She really was shooting more than the strikers today. I think she might even have had the most shots on the team. She had 4 shots in the game. I'm not sure if anybody else had that many shots. But yeah, Christy Uchebe is still a good performance, but again, just not as solid in her duels as she normally is. And then going forward, we had Tony Payne. Tony Payne, who I initially had identified as who I thought could be a key player for us in this game. I will say today was not her worst game, but today was not her best game. I really expected Tony Payne to do more for us in terms of keeping possession, in terms of bringing the ball forward, and in terms of trying to play that final pass. To be fair to her, though, in the first half, the team was not really trying to play through her. Maybe Randy Waldrum identified the Brazilian left back as a weak link, and he had informed the girls and he told them to play through Ajibade for the entire first half. I don't know, but I would have liked to see Tony Payne be involved more. Her teammates give her the ball, let her be able to turn in possession, face the attack, and help us to move the ball forward. But even while I'm saying that, I also have to admit that the times that she got the ball and I was expecting, okay, turn, drive at them, push the attack, go put the center backs under pressure. She wasn't really doing that. She was either trying to lay it off wide to Echegini, lay it off wide to Ajibade, or sometimes she was just losing possession, either trying to play a pass or trying to run with the ball. It wasn't her best game today. I will not knock Tony Payne because I know how good she is. I know the kind of impact that she can have on a game when she's at her best, but I felt like the team could have played through her a little bit more. They could have allowed her to feel more in the game and for her confidence to grow more and more. But she didn't really have that opportunity today. Jennifer Echegini, wow. Fantastic player, talented player, not her best game today. Again, I don't know if I'm going to fault her per se, because just like I said about Tony Payne, she wasn't really getting in possession. She wasn't really getting people, giving her the ball. I think she had one moment that she actually had an opportunity to face up against her fullback, and she beat the fullback. She caught on her right foot, and unfortunately, she skied her shot. But other than that, she barely touched the ball. In 67 minutes, Echegini had only 16 touches of the ball in 67 minutes. So she was just not involved in the game. Our left wing was clearly absent in that match. Our left wing was clearly absent. So I don't know whether it was a strategy thing. I don't know whether it was Echegini just not, coming and finding the spaces to get involved in the game. But I think something definitely needs to change moving forward. I like Jennifer Echegini a lot. I think she's a quality player. Again, in that one moment that she was able to face up against her fullback, we showed what she can do. She's a creative player. She can score goals. She can provide assists. She can, put defenders under pressure. But if she only gets to touch the ball 16 times in the entire match, how much is she really going to offer us in the game? That's the question that I'll ask. Compared to like an Ajibade that had 56 touches in the game. So Ajibade was where the ball was going to almost every time. I'll see how Randy Wardrum addresses that with his players. I'll see how they change things up a little bit when we go to our next match against Spain. But yeah, our attack was not the best today. And then Chinwendu Ehezu started up front as the striker. She was yanked off at halftime. Not to knock her, but she deserved to go off. Again, like I said, she wasn't at her best. She was quite sluggish, on her heels rather than being on her toes. She wasn't making the runs that we wanted her to make. She wasn't supporting Rashida Ajibade, especially in that first half, as much as she should have been supporting. That's why the coach even eventually moved Rash into the middle of the attack, so that she can, maybe be a threat by herself. And she had a shot in the second half that was well saved by Lorena, the Brazilian goalkeeper. Again, Ihezuo absolutely should have scored that chance that she had. Football is a game of moments. If you don't take your chances like that, it can easily turn around to bite you. So yeah, we were on top of them in the first half. I thought so. We had that fantastic opportunity to score. If we had scored and taken that 1-0 lead, everything could have changed. Everything about the match could have been different from there. But unfortunately, we didn't get it. The goal that we conceded, I think, is sloppy. I think it's sloppy. I think it is a little bit, what's the word? Without being offensive or without insulting the players, it was a little bit amateurish. We concede a goal. Thankfully for us, the goal is ruled out as offside. And in the next minute, I don't even know if it was up to 60 seconds after the restart, we concede another goal. Sloppy defending, just lack of concentration. Again, moments. Our defensive line for that goal was terrible, because there is no reason why what's her name, Gabi Nunes, should have been able to receive that pass in as much space as she did. Absolutely no reason why that should have happened. So I think that's somewhere that we definitely need to do better. We should have done better. But unfortunately for us, we considered the goal, and it came to hurt us. I'm just looking at that goal again. So much space. The man was not watching properly. Okeke was not holding the line properly. Absolutely nothing that Inadozie could have done. And Gabi Nunes, kudos to her for a fantastic strike. Well taken goal for her. And then unfortunately, from that moment, we just could not come back into the game. After Brazil scored us, we just lacked our fight. We lacked our bite, and unfortunately, we could not do it. Nadozie again working hard. She nearly sold game. Chiamaka nearly sold game. I was so scared in that moment where she tried to clear the ball out, I think, with her left foot, and she essentially played it to Mata or one of the Brazilian midfielders, and she made the save, thankfully. But on another day, a better strike from the attacker, and it could have easily been 2-0. So that's just something to watch. Nadozie, she's a fantastic goalkeeper. We always have confidence in her, but on her feet, she's not she's not an Edison. So it's just something that I think she has to be more aware of going forward. The main, I think, put in some interesting tackles, help the team. Again, maybe sometimes she was like one step behind, but she was, good enough to be able to cover and be able to make some tackles at the end of the day. Randy Waldrum tried to switch things up, made a lot of subs. But in my opinion, I think our effectiveness in attack was diminished when he moved Ajibade away from the wing. The second half started, she was on the left wing. Eventually, he put her in the middle, and our effectiveness in attack, I think, kind of died down. Even though the forwards were not really supporting Ajibade in that first half, at least she was able to beat her players, run at the players and put some opportunities or put some crosses into the box. But in that, second half, when she moved away from the wing, her effectiveness reduced, her touches reduced. She wasn't getting involved as much as possible. So I don't know exactly what Randy Wardrum wanted to happen there, but I don't think it worked as we would have wanted or as he would have planned. People are talking about Onumonu. I have nothing to knock Onumonu for today. Again, a lot of Nigerian fans don't watch the Super Falcons that much. They don't watch these players at their clubs. They just don't like her maybe because of WAFCON where they thought she wasn't good. I'm not going to knock Onumonu for anything today. She's not new to playing on the wing. If you remember, the goal that qualified us for the World Cup, Ajibade's goal against Cameroon at the WAFCON, was from an Onumonu cross from the right wing. So it wasn't a terrible decision to put her there. Again, a lot of things just did not quite work out for us in that second half with the changes that were made by Randy. But I'm not going to knock Onumonu at all. I'm not going to say Onumonu did anything wrong. Uche Nakano came on as a sub as well. I feel like I always have the same complaints with Uche Nakano. I like Uche Nakano as a striker. I like her as a number 9. I think the chance that Ihezuo missed, Kano will probably have done better with it and probably have scored it. I like her when she doesn't have to think, when she's just playing instinctively. But whenever she has time on the ball, whenever she has to make a decision, Kanu tends to struggle. She tends to overthink things. She tends to make the wrong decision. So that's my criticism of her today. There were times where instead of her to just play a pass, she tried to run with the ball and then she lost possession cheaply. So she just doesn't always make the best decision when she has time. That is the reason why I like her as a number 9. Put her in the box. All she has to do is shoot, finish, jump, head it in. So today I didn't think it was the best showing of Uche Nakano when she came on the field. I think she can definitely do better. I think she will definitely do better. In the next game, it's going to be interesting to see who the coach plays up front. Is he going to stick with Okoronkwo, or is he going to bring Okoronkwo in? Is he going to stick with Zoho? Is he going to play Kanu? Or even Asisa Toshwala on the bench? I know that Oshwala is not the Oshwala of when she first burst onto the scene, but is Oshwala that bad? I asked this question to Randy Waldrum. Is Oshwala that bad that we're losing a game against Brazil and he doesn't think Oshwala needs to come on? He doesn't think Oshwala can make a difference. He doesn't think Oshwala can change the game. I genuinely asked the question to Randy Waldrum. Is Oshwala that bad? Again, I know she's not at her best. I know she's not as good as she used to be, but I'm surprised that he wouldn't think Oshwala can help in a game like this. While losing, you are bringing on every attacking player that you have. You are bringing on every attacking player. Onumonu comes on, Kanu comes on, Okoronkwo comes on, but Oshwala sits on the bench for the entire 90 minutes. I don't know how I feel about that. because I'm someone that I believe that Oshuala is a player that, whether she's at her best or not, she can be a game changer. She can be a difference maker. I honestly still believe that. I honestly still believe that. So I was a bit disappointed not to see her come on the field to try to help us out. But I hope somebody asks the coach in the press conference why he didn't use her. I hope somebody asks so that we can actually understand, the reasoning behind it. Maybe she was injured, I don't know, but I was surprised that in a game that we are chasing, he doesn't use Asisa to Shwala. I was a bit surprised. I was a bit surprised. Um, okay. And then yes, on the Brazilian side, sometimes I hate being right. Sometimes I hate being right. But I tend to be right a lot of the time. I tend to be right more often than not. I said it in my pre-match show. I did a player spotlight. I posted it on our social media. Mata. What were people telling me in the comments? Mata is old. Mata is 38. Mata is this. Mata cannot do that. Mata cannot play again. Mata cannot do that. I said, watch this girl. She is a good quality player. People say, oh no, she's old. She's 38 now. She's playing in America. She's not that good anymore. Mata ran the entire show for Brazil. Mata literally ran the entire show for Brazil. I didn't even necessarily think she would start, but she did. And she controlled the game. She played 90 minutes. She was the best player on the field. She nearly scored. The one that she played from the left that hits the post. She had one goal that was disallowed. She assisted the goal for Gabi Nunes. And she was playing quality passes the entire game. She only misplaced 5 passes in the entire match. Mata. She only misplaced 5 passes in the entire match. She was quality. And that's the thing. When you have quality, you have quality. And that's kind of the same thing that I think with Oshuala. Oshuala might not be at her best, but even if she's not going to start, last 25 minutes, all she needs is maybe one chance to shoot. Even if you cannot run fast, if you can shoot, you can shoot. I'm sure if you put Ronaldo R9 on the field today, he can run around, but if you give him one chance with the goalkeeper, I'm sure he can still finish. I'm sure he can still finish. So that's why I think with someone like Oshuala, yes, she might not be able to play 90 minutes, she might not be able to play 45 minutes, but I still think that she can provide some quality. So I was not happy that I was right with Mata. I was not happy that I was right, but I said it. I said it. This lady, this woman, has the potential to hurt us. People were telling me she's too old. She's 38. She cannot play like that anymore. But then look at how it happened for us today. She ran the entire show. So yes, overall, we have 2 massive games coming up now. In a tournament like this, where you only have 3 games in the group stage, your first game is very important. Every game is important, but your first game is especially important because if you lose that first game, it puts you on the back foot heading into your next 2 matches. And then when we now consider the fact that our next 2 matches are against Spain, number 1 in the world champions, and against Japan. I think Japan are number 7 in the world. It's not going to be easy. Do I think we can do it? Absolutely, we can do it. We can do it. I watched Spain play today, and they showed their dominance against Japan, but they also showed that they can concede set pieces. You can score from that. You can score them with a long range strike. It will be a tall task for us, but we can do it. I'm going to keep on supporting the girls. I'm going to keep on backing the girls. I'm going to expect and hope that their next game is going to be a better performance. And let's see how we can pick up. 1 down, unfortunately, an L for us. But three teams can qualify from the group because there's spots for 2 third-place teams. So if we can get even just 3 points against Spain or against Japan, or 4 points from those 2 matches, there is still a good chance for us to qualify from our group. I'm not going to lose my faith. I'm not going to lose my faith. I love the Super Falcons. I support them through thick and thin. And let us see what they can offer. If you would like to come on, join the program, share your thoughts I'm going to post the link on all platforms now. So if you would like to come on, just make sure you have a camera so that we can see you. Make sure that you are fully dressed, because nobody wants to see you without your clothes. I've had people that have come on my show before and they are not wearing clothes. I cannot understand it. But let us see what people have to say. I've posted the link on all the platforms. So please, if you want to come on, just use the link and join the program. While I'm waiting for people to send requests, while I'm waiting for people to send requests, let me um, let me see what people are saying in the comments while I'm waiting for that. Let me see what people are saying in the comments. Somebody said, "Na Spain una one beat." Yes, na Spain we one beat. If you want to come on, na Spain we one beat. Yes, don't underrate the girls. Yes, na Spain we one beat. Na Spain we one beat. Someone said everything in Nigeria is an issue. Why isn't there a badge on the jersey? Other countries at least have Olympic rings. So I think before you say, "Oh, there's always a problem," ask the question. The reason why there is no badge on our shirt is because the competition is not under the mandate or under the jurisdiction of the NFF, and the badge is the NFF badge. So maybe they could have put our flag, green, white, green there. Maybe they could have written Nigeria to identify that it is us. But the reason why our badge is not there is because it is not under the jurisdiction of the NFF, and our badge literally says Nigeria Football Federation. Other countries have badges that represent their federation but doesn't necessarily have the federation name on it. But our own is Nigeria Football Federation. So that's the reason why we don't have the badge. Let me see. Somebody said my prediction was accurate. I will get to that later. We'll get to predictions later for the giveaway that we posted on social media. But please, if you would like to join the program, the link has been posted. The link has been posted on all platforms. Just click the link and I'll get you on. I will take as many people as we can in the time that we have. Engineer Ayodele says overall they gave it their all. Yes, overall they gave it their all. I'm not going to fault the ladies too much. Again, football is a game of moments. We could have done better. We should have scored a goal at least. And if we had scored that goal, everything would have been different. Everything would have been different. If we had scored that goal, everything would have been different. Okay, let me bring people on now and hear what you guys have to say. First person that I have is Mr. Adedotun. Yes, good evening.
Good evening, IOC. Well, it is
Yes.
what it is. That's football for you. It's part of football. I would say the guys they gave their best, but I guess their best was not good enough. I'm not gonna fault them, I'm not gonna blame them, But people have been saying a lot of trash about Chidima Okeke. But Nigerians should try more and do their research. This young girl is not a left back. I played soccer before, and I always tell people it is very difficult for a right back to go and play left back. But she's a match left back. Probably okay against South Africa it worked, but now at the competition probably it didn't work. They just cut her some slack. I'm sure she too she's not happy with herself. Even with ESO, we know her work rate. We know she's not someone that will give you the goals, but she will charge the defenders and stuff like that. But today it didn't work out well. And if ESO has scored that goal, definitely maybe it can be another story entirely. But all in all, I'm not going to condemn the girls. I'm not going to run them down. I'm not going to run down the coach. But I think the girls did well. Let's see what will happen the next match. Never can tell anything can happen in football. You know, the Australia that do well at the World Cup. Look at what Germany did to them today. So football is not mathematics. Another thing we should understand is that you see, when all the other countries were preparing, we were still deliberating on where to camp. So preparation matters a lot. They're on the jersey, IoT. I slightly disagree with you. The NFA is a unit under the sport ministry. The NFF is in charge of our football. So if we're having the badge NFL badge on the jersey, uh, to me, we're not taking anything out of the out of the team.
No,
I'm just
so
saying,
I'll just say I'm not saying that they shouldn't have had it there.
okay,
I'm only explaining why it's not there. And
okay,
while you're right, at the end of the day, the NFF coordinates football in Nigeria, but the delegation going to the Olympics is under the NOC. It's not under the NFF.
I know, I
So
know.
I mean, I'm not the one that made the decision. I'm just explaining why it was like that. But yes, thank you very much, Mr. Dedotun. Thank you for joining and sharing your thoughts. I'll
Yeah,
let you go now just so that we can get other people to join in
yes,
as well.
yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so please, if you want to come on, just make sure you have your camera on. If your camera is not on, I wouldn't be able to bring you on. If you have to change browser, please change browser. But we need to be able to see your face in order to bring you on. Yes, Sid, good evening. Good evening. Thank you for
Hey,
joining.
good evening, IoT. Good to see you. Thanks for inviting us.
Yes.
Yeah,
So 1-0 defeat against Brazil. What do you think?
I know, I know. I mean, it was a good game. I think the first half the girls tried well. We pressed. Our attacking area was from the Jibade's wing. We
Mm,
missed two good chances. I think if those chances had come in, the game would be different. you
mm,
know. But I think my problem was the midfield was not coordinating very well. They were losing
mm,
a lot of balls, especially with Chebe, losing a lot of balls and pain.
mm,
If they had, I noticed they were using route one all the time. The ball goes to
mm,
the goalkeeper, they lump it up, Iheze goes for the ball, then they pick up the loose ends.
mm,
It was upsetting the Brazilians. So first half, the Brazilians didn't really play anything. Even Mata was just not really there
mm,
until they had their chance and just loss of concentration. And like you said, football is about those moments. But I
mm,
expected in the second half for us to have the energy. But surprisingly, the first 15 or 20 minutes of second half, they just dominated us.
yeah.
And I didn't think that Wardrum reacted quickly. His
Mm,
reaction was slow. I didn't expect him to bring out a hazy. I was expecting a different kind of change, but he brought in the girl Okonkwo. But I didn't think she played. She was really just running, and she was running into people's spaces. I
mm,
noticed she was just running into people's spaces, which was not good. But I mean, first game, difficult group. For me, it's a
mm,
difficult group. I don't really expect them to go out of this group personally.
mm,
But doesn't mean I won't support them. I want them to play their best. But the
yeah.
group is extremely difficult. This is the cream de la creme of female football.
Mm,
You know, the Japanese, the Spanish team is number one in the world. So but what I expect them to do is to go out there, not be afraid of anything, give their
mm,
all. That's
mm,
all we can expect. I mean, if they beat them, that's awesome. But I don't think any person that really watches female football will think that the Nigerians will go and whitewash Spain and Japan. No, 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 no. Let's not deceive ourselves.
mm,
Those are top level footballers, and
mm,
with that in mind, they need to go approach those games without anything to lose. All right,
mm.
just go and play your football. Calm down, play your football. I
You
think
are
they over.
expect. So I think you are saying you are expected to lose. So just go and play, and whatever happens,
Just go and
happens.
play. Just go and
Mm,
play. Sometimes when you go with that mindset, you would scroll a point, or they revert to the system they use in the World Cup.
mm.
But I think he couldn't use that system because he's missing Halima too,
In the
Ayinde in
midfield.
that midfield. So
Mm,
she not being in that midfield, Uchebe is not too free to move out.
mm,
So but I mean that Abiodun girl, I was surprised today how
mm,
she just marshaled the midfield, irrespective of two or three Brazilians on her. And actually, at the
mm,
end of the game, Mata had to even talk to her and say, "You are something
mm.
else,"
Okay,
because
let me.
every time
No,
she got
finish
the
your thoughts.
ball, every time she got the ball, she held on to the ball. she could beat 2 or 3 people, and I think that's what the Nigerian team was missing.
mm,
2 or 3 of them that can hold the ball, beat 2 people, and advance play.
mm,
They were not really doing except Ajibede and
mm. Okay.
Yabudi.
I
So
want to ask you one question before I let you go now, so I can bring other people on. So, looking at the way we've performed today, some people think, hey, before a game like this, Super Falcons will be losing 3-0, 3-1, but now we're only conceding one goal, and it was one moment. It wasn't like they had
mhm.
that many chances, throughout the whole match. So what do you think we can do to be able to also score against teams like this? Because if we look back, World Cup, England, we balled them, but we couldn't score. Today again, Brazil, in that first half, we balled them, but we couldn't score. So just very quickly, what do you think we need to change in order to be able to score against these top nations?
I think we need to be the girls need to be calm in front of goal.
Mm,
When they get in front of goal, don't just quickly shoot or quickly just hold your ball, beat your 2 men, and take your shot. Secondly, I think the more our female football improves, why we see a lot of improvement now is that most of our girls play overseas.
mm,
If you see the team, the complex of this team is basically you hardly see a home-based player. So I feel the more we have more of our players playing, you see Ajibade, this is a top player. So
mm,
once you're in the top teams, the Barcelonas, the Chelseas, and all that, if you see the French Colombian game, it's very tough, but the French is winning. But you see the improvement of the game. So I think with improving our players to better leagues, playing
mm,
consistently, and then the coach should just tell them to be calm in front of goal,
mm,
and really look home. They are the under 20 girls that are good.
mm,
Start introducing them into the team, like
mm,
Ajikaye and all that. Bring them into the team. Let's
mm.
see whether they can be calm at goal. And I think they will become better. Just let them relax. Let them
Mm.
relax. That's why I said next games, don't think about whether we'll lose. You're the underdogs. Play with relaxation.
Mm. All right. Thank you very much.
Yes,
Always
man.
nice to hear. All right. Thank you. So yeah, some very good points made by Mr. Seed over there. Let them relax, play their natural game. Hey, they are the underdogs. So just go out there, play your game. If you win, congrats. If you lose, oh well, everybody will say that's what we're expecting. Just don't get beaten seriously. That's the only thing I would say. But yeah, let me bring on our next guest. Daniel has been waiting for some time now. Yeah, hello. Yeah, hello, Daniel. Okay, Daniel, I think you might need to fix your internet. Alex, stop. Yes, good evening.
Hey, good evening. It's my first time joining you guys. I really
Hey,
appreciate you.
I
I
need
always
to
listen. I always
I
listen
need
to
to
you
go and
guys on
buy.
Ube.
Thank you.
Huh?
I need to go and buy Bell so that whenever I have first time call, I can ring Bell for you.
Oh,
But
no,
but thank you.
I watch you
Thank you.
guys all the time on YouTube,
Mm,
and this is the time. I love Nigerian female game. I follow them. I follow the players playing, on their club side. I mean, I don't know. I love the Super Falcons more than the Super Eagles.
mm,
I follow them a lot.
mm,
But for this game, I agree with all you said. I think the what's her name? The Shuwendu. I don't think she was in the game anyway.
mm,
I mean that goal she could have easily scored that goal. She couldn't even trap a ball. I mean, I think they bring her in because of her energy. She can run. If you
yeah.
watch the league, Mexican league, she haven't even scored a goal this season. I don't know, maybe
No,
one.
no, she scored. The Mexican league just started, to be fair, but she scored
Yeah,
in the
but
first
this
game.
year,
She scored.
she haven't scored any goal this year. Maybe one.
Mm,
Maybe one. I think it's because of her energy. She can run around, but she wasn't even in the game.
mm,
For Shola, I don't know. Maybe the coach will say something better for Shola. I don't know why he wouldn't play her. For Esther, she tried. I think the midfield was good. I think the midfield was really good. Jennifer, Eshejine, I don't understand today. I mean, most of them. Mokeke as well. She wasn't showing. I think I'm impressed with the Penn sister. Nicole, I think I was really impressed with her.
when she
She
came on.
when she came on, yeah, I think I was impressed. I think maybe they might start her, but overall, I agree with what you said on the other caller. They try their best. It's Brazil, they're not really that great anyway. Mata did a thing, of course. So that's why I'm surprised. Like if Mata can play at what, 38, 39, for sure I can still play. I mean, why not put her in the next last 10 minutes, She can kind of distract other people. Ajibade, I think she's like the star of the game. But
Mm.
I think bringing her in the middle, to bring her in the middle was a good thing because Tony Payne is not clicking very well,
Mm.
and bringing her in the thing. But I just felt like it was a good game. They tried. We see what Spain played. Japan game, we can see that they were trying to defend. They weren't like kind of. Japan can play. They can hold the ball, but when you're playing against Spain, you have to come up.
Yeah.
But Japan was defending. They were defending, and just try to counter. So I don't know how Nigerian game will be. I think the next game was in Japan. I
No,
think.
our next game is Spain.
I'll tell you, I'm not scared. I think they will play a good game. I'm not scared. I think they will play a good game. Just looking at the Spain team today, I don't think they will because we have a good midfield, though. We really have a good midfield. Abiodun, you can see at the ending of the game, Mata was going there talking to her.
Okay,
So it's a great
let
game.
me ask you a question because you say we have a good midfield, yeah, and
Yeah.
I think that it is that statement. I don't know if I fully agree. Our players are good, but we have Uchebe trying to win balls back. We have Abiodun running around, winning balls, making tackles, making interceptions. If we play against a team like Spain and we allow them to keep on having the ball, because today we win the ball back, we give it to Brazil, come at us again. And we know this in football. When you have a quality opposition, if you give them many chances to come at you, eventually they will
Yeah.
find their way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let me just ask you this question. If you could give Randy Waldrum one piece of advice, looking ahead to the next match, what's that one advice you would give him?
I think, well, two things. Hold the ball. Hold the ball. Don't just play the ball. Just don't play the ball away. Try to hold the balls. I think like you said this, you're always giving away the passes. And don't just shoot. I see a lot of them just kicking the ball on the left. I think Abiodun did the same thing, always using their left weak leg to shoot the ball.
Mm.
Pass the ball. When you get there, try to pass the ball. If you don't have any chances, anybody to pass, yeah, shoot. But what I would tell him, just tell them to hold the ball. Hold the ball, play. It can. I don't want to say this, but you can tell that the ones that were groomed outside of Nigeria, they have a different. We Nigerians, we are skillful and we use strength. Some of these kids, I live in the US. I see them play from high school, middle school. It's the technical part of it that they teach them.
Mm.
So it's not just by kicking the ball. That's all Nigerian way we used to play. But you can see that these new kids that were born outside of Nigeria, they have a different mindset, mentality playing the game. They're trying to hold the ball. We just play by strength and maybe skill and stuff like that. But one advice I would give him is hold the ball. You're playing against Spain, don't give away the ball because Spain will hold the ball. So hold the ball and then you can go from there. Don't defend too much against Spain. Like you said, the same thing happened to Brazil. We were having all the chances and then all of a sudden, one chance, that was it. I thought it was going to be like 3 goals anyway. But yeah, just hold the ball.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Alex. Thank you
Appreciate
for
it,
joining
man.
and
Thank you
sharing
so
your
much
thoughts.
for the privilege.
All right, thank you. Okay, Rajo, you're up next. But before I bring you on, I just want to quickly look at what people are saying in the comments before they get too many and I forget. So Jaidor says they have actually improved. Gone are the days we were defeated with high goal margin. So he's saying, hey, look at the positives. At least we did not lose big. 1-0 goal difference is still just -1. So we still have a chance. Jeff Nation says you guys should watch Zambia's match for comic relief. So some Nigerians are taking solace in the fact that Zambia are currently being flogged by the USA. But I think I'm Team Africa, so I like African nations doing well in general. Muyi King says Abiodun holds the ball well. Let me see. Yes, Quihon says Nicole has really improved. Yeah, she did quite good when she came off the bench. I think she's probably going to start the second match ahead of Okeke. I think so. But we have to see what Randy Wardrum decides to do. Awala24 says unlucky Falcons. Capone Cool J says we have an enforcer midfield, not a creative midfield. Almost the same as Super Eagles. Yes, that's kind of what I was saying. We have players that can win tackles, that can break play up, but we just don't have too much strength when it comes to actually being creative and playing that final ball. Let him play Echegini centrally, start Esther. Okay, so that could be an option. Somebody earlier had said that him putting Echegini on the left was one of the reasons why we didn't do well. I wouldn't necessarily say so because Echegini can play from the wing. She plays from the wing for her club, or she played for the wing for her club a number of times, when she was at Juve this past season. And in the friendly game against Canada, she played from the wing and she was our best player in that friendly, our most creative player in that friendly against Canada. So it's not like the coach woke up one day and said, "Oh, I want to put her on the wing." He has seen her play there and he has seen her do well there. It didn't work for her today, unfortunately. She was barely even getting involved. They were barely passing the ball to that side. So I wouldn't necessarily knock the coach for that. Hey, in football, sometimes it works out for you, sometimes it doesn't. Super Sam Soje says, we don't have the quality going forward. We'll be best playing Ajibade from the middle, probably behind the striker. So Sam Soji, I think, is agreeing with the change that the coach eventually made in the game when he moved Ajibade more centrally, saying that we don't have the best quality going forward. Lord Beck says that was the easiest game in the group. On paper, yes, it was the easiest game in the group, but hey, football, who knows? At the last World Cup, England was not the easiest game, but England was the one that we actually played the best. So you never know what can happen. Some other comments. Akim Bode on YouTube says Okeke should not have started this match. She was nowhere, always giving sloppy passes. I mean, hindsight is 2020. Hindsight is 2020. Obviously, you've seen how she played. You've seen that she didn't have the best game. So it's not hard to say, oh, she shouldn't have started. But when the lineup came out, most people did not have an issue with it because Chidinma Okeke is a good player. She's not naturally a left back. Yes, she can play center back and she can play right back. But she played a left back, I think, in our game against, was it South Africa, when we were qualifying for the Olympics, and she didn't do too badly. So again, it's not like the coach just woke up and put her there for no reason. He's seen her play there. He's seen her do a decent job. Unfortunately, she just didn't have her best game today. So don't quit says Uchebe's passes to the final third at some point let us down. I agree with you. Uchebe gave the ball away a number of times today, but I think my challenge with that is always that Uchebe should not be the creative outlet for the Super Falcons. She's wearing the number 10 jersey, but she's not a naturally creative midfielder. We have people like Tony Payne, people like Echegini that should be the more creative options for us. So I wouldn't necessarily knock her for that. She was trying, it just didn't quite work for her. MySpace Place says, I guess Mitlai was overconfident. Hey, I don't mind it, believe in the girls. I don't mind it. Let me see. Okobia Ifeanyi says the game was physical. Lucky we have no injuries. Brazil not so lucky. Yeah, it was quite a buzz game, intense physical game. Unfortunately, Brazil had one player go off with an injury. Hopefully, it's not serious, but we're able to come out unscathed. And then Chidima Uzo says Inadozie should be more focused against Spain. Okay, Rajo, you've been waiting for a bit. Thank you for your patience. Thank you. Welcome.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Although there's a bit of noise in your background, but we can hear you.
Yeah. So I said before I start, I think the playing personnel is not the problem of the Super Falcons. Firstly, the midfield lacks creativity. Like Uchebe playing out of, she's using Uchebe out of position. Randy Wardrum has always been using these players out of position. And the solution to this thing is to manage the squad is tiny, like 18 woman squad. There's no how the coach can tweak a lot of things. That was where the preparation have come in handy. Maybe if they have played a lot of more matches, we have tested many of those players in different positions. The players that are actually impressed with is Deborah. I think she can play up front just to manage the squad in terms of, it's not as if she's the best creative player there. I think she holds the ball better. She's always calm when she's playing. Jimmy gave a good field performance. I think she has upped her game compared to the World Cup when she was a bit jittery. And I was not too impressed with her goalkeeper today. She was too jittery for my liking. No, that's not the Nadozie we always know. But for the life of me, how would you have the African best player, women football, a record player of the year, not getting any minutes in this Super Falcons attack? It's sad. I think this squad can qualify. Even if they get 3 points, this team can outscore people because if you're going to qualify with as third best loser, you need to keep a good defensive shape and score
mm,
goals. I don't think
mm,
1 goal or 2 goals will qualify this team. Like the previous caller before the last caller said, let these girls just go and enjoy, sell yourself, play beauty. No, don't put pressure on yourself. If you win, fine, everybody is going to hail you. If you did not lose at this Mali, you are still going to say, oh, you tried. And the fixture list doesn't, and these girls will get tired. If they play a match today, in the next 2 3 days, I think there will be another match. It will
mm,
later, the fatigue will come in, even if you overstretch these girls too much because they're an 18-man squad and the wardrobe won't be able. I don't think he's the person that tricks his selection. He believes in the players he likes. Even Onumono and Uchebe, they are a victim of the coach using them badly.
mm,
Onumonu has good work rates, but end product is not always there. Not that she's a bad player. If she changes this first 11 to another first 11, you will still complain because the midfield, the creative block is not there. They're not creating chances. How will the strikers score? Like you said earlier in the live, when you said Uchenna Kanu plays better in the box because she doesn't know how to use the ball. She just come
mm,
in, she's too lackadaisical, but our best player on our own part is Rashida Tajibade. She always give 101%, fighting for all balls, moving. She always plays like 4 different positions in every Falcons game I've been seeing. She will
mm.
play in the wing, play centrally, attack. That our work rate is super for her. I think our manager should be able to get her a better club. Let's temper our own expectations. This team can't give us what we want.
Hmm.
We can't outscore teams. Even third best, the best user among the group. This team can't outscore teams. If it
Hmm.
happens, I'll be shocked because it's football. And the wardrobe, we need an explanation why Oshuala is not even in the team. Not even getting 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes. For all our worth of experience is so bad. Even Tony Page, maybe she was an on off form today because she didn't really show anything. Even Michelle Alozie, later she played out of position. She had to go replace Okeke at the left back. That's the biggest problem of this Falcon is getting a creative block. I don't even among the senior player, I don't think we have any ball carrying player that can spread pass minus Tony Payne. So if she's
Hmm.
off form, we don't have replacement for her. The squad is too
Hmm.
tiny and it's just the
Hmm.
Olympics format, so it's nobody's fault. The coach just need to manage the squad better. That's what I
All
just feel.
right. All right. Thank you very much, Rajo, for making you made some good points. Thank you for joining the show. All right. So yes, Rajo, with a number of points there, yes, Tony Payne was not at her best day, and unfortunately, we did not have anybody that could really do that creative work. Let's hear from Ebube. Yes, good evening.
Good evening. Yeah. Um, Quick one. I've been trying to get across previously. First time caller, like the other guys said as well.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for
Yeah.
joining.
Because of you, I go open Instagram self. So anyway, so just one thing I wanted to say. I was wondering why the coach did not start Nicole Payne.
Mm,
And you didn't talk much about Nicole Payne because I was really impressed with her play. When she came in, like she really did well, and she kind of changed the game for us. So I'm looking forward to seeing her make probably start
mm,
the next game or start from the second half.
mm.
So yeah.
Just okay, just to respond to that, I think maybe I wasn't surprised seeing Okeke at the left back. Like I said, Okeke had played left back in our qualifying matches against South Africa, and she did quite well. Nico Payne just became a pro. She was playing in college. She just became a pro when she signed for PSG, then went to Portland Turns, and even at Portland, she hasn't necessarily been playing every game. She has been more of a substitute player. So I think Randy Waldrum is somebody that tends to go with the players that he knows and he trusts. And I feel like maybe he just trusted Okeke more to start this game. But like I also said when I was responding to the other person, Now that we saw how Okeke played in this game, and we saw how Payne played when she came on, I would probably guess that he will start Nicole Payne in the second match.
Yeah.
Because okay, today it wasn't even about her just playing badly. For me, it was more so the fact that she just did not seem to be on the same page with everybody else. Not keeping her line as good as she needed to, and things like that. So I kind of feel like the coach will probably start Nicole in the second game.
Yeah. Then finally, I just thought. In fact, when the second half started, I was really confident. My mom was even saying, no, forget the game is over." I was like, no, no, no. Oshoala is coming in. I was hoping for her to, but man, I was really disappointed not seeing Oshoala coming in for the second half. It was really, really disappointing. But anyway, I just hope the coach will do what he knows how to do best, and hopefully we'll beat Spain. I'm
Okay.
hopeful.
Before you go, I want to ask you one question. Because you say you're still hopeful that we beat Spain.
Yeah.
So on a scale of 1 to 10 now, what do you think is our chance of qualifying for the next round?
So if you listen to the commentator, he said something. He said for every position, the Nigerian team matched the Brazilian team. The only thing was just that we were not really coherent. We were not
Yes.
playing as a team. But on position basis, we matched the Brazilian. So I on a scale of 1 to 10, if Coach Wardrum gets his tactics together, I'll say, in my head, I'm saying 7. If he gets his stuff together, 7. Yeah.
Okay.
The only reason we will not qualify out of this group is if the coach does not get his tactics right.
Okay.
Like in the World Cup, first game we're really like defensive. Second game, you saw there was a bit of switch. The third game, we pulled out a surprise. So I'm still hoping something like that might happen in this tournament. So yeah, 7/10.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for calling. I hope to see you
Yes.
more in the future.
All right, cheers.
Okay, so yes, everybody is still fairly confident. He says 7 out of 10 chance of us still going through from this group, even though we lost our first game. Again, 3 points might be enough to see you through to the next round. So we just have to find a way to win one of the 2 games against Spain and Japan. Up next, I have Felix, who has been waiting patiently. Welcome to the show, Felix.
Yeah, good evening, AY. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, viewers. Yeah, it is not what we anticipated, but I think it's one of the things I observed in the game is the euphoria of the opening game. We got few things wrong. We were not. I wouldn't say we were poor. To be honest, we matched the Brazil like par for par. But I think one thing that affected us in the game, we lacked composure. But that was the first thing. We lacked composure. We were rushing. We should have been 2 goals ahead in the first half, earlier in the first half. We had those chances. And the second thing again, and this problem has been persisting since the World Cup. If you remember, AY, in one of the podcasts you did, I think I kind of mentioned it. We need to get a goal scorer in that team. We are not scoring as much, and it's really costing us. The reason why we got evicted from the World Cup and had to drag the game to penalty against England was because we didn't have a goal scorer. If we had a goal scorer, we were definitely going to dump England out of the World Cup. Same thing happened today. We had chances. That a normal goal scorer should just bury. These are competitions where you don't get too many chances. The few ones you just have to bury them. But we don't have a goal scorer in that team. And I don't know, because I think Echegini played right wing against Canada.
No, she played
But
from the left.
she played from the left.
Yeah, because all the clips I saw from that game, she was on the left.
But AY, is she a winger?
She's a wide midfielder. If you go and look at her analytics for her club, this past season playing for Juventus, if you go on Y Scouts, which is what I use, her heat map shows that more often than not, she was on the wing. So it's not something that is new to her. She plays from that position a lot.
Because do you know what I thought when I later on in the game, I felt okay. If I'm going to correct a few things in this game, I won't even remove Echegini. I'll put Echegini in the attacking midfield role. Play as an attacking midfielder. I noticed that Payne is very good. She's quick. I mean Tony Payne now. She's quick and she's good 1v1. Like when she faces someone, she dribbles past the person. I would have put her in that wing, then asked Echegini to play in her wing in her position. But probably and I think the second Payne, what's her name? Nicole, right? I think she should start the next game. I think she should start. I think Alozie should be on the bench. Alozie is good.
Oh, you think Alozie should be on the bench? So Okeke would play where, right or left?
Okay, sorry. Because of Okeke, Alozie should play. They should throw. Okeke should not play. I think Alozie and Payne should start. The problem I have with Alozie is, she's a good footballer, but I don't want to leave Alozie with a striker that can dribble, like a quick striker. She's 1v1, she's bad defending. Like each time a striker is facing her, a winger, most especially, I'm always scared because she's this girl that she's like Arnold. Arnold likes to bump forward, but Arnold cannot defend. That is the problem with Alozie. She's quick, she has everything. But when she's isolated with a striker who is tricky or who is fast, it's always a problem. You can see the way they were getting past her today. It was just too much. So I feel the girls will do well in the next game. Irrespective of who we are playing, I think they will win the next game. I just have this thing. They have this notch of fighting back. When everything is against them, they have this notch of coming back up. I believe they will beat Spain. Just correct few things. And I think we should be happy. Years ago, we are playing Brazil, Spain. Nigeria will be chopping like 5-0, 6-0, 4-0, things like that. But for the fact that we're even having confidence that we can beat this nation, we can draw against them, I think it's a big improvement. And Nigeria shouldn't lose faith in the girls. They should still keep faith. I believe they'll come.
All right. Thank you very much, Felix. Always nice to hear from you. Thank you for joining the program. Okay. Engineer Church. Welcome. Engineer Churchill, sorry. As soon as I brought him on, he ran away. Okay, I think I saw Femi on earlier, so I'll bring you on. Yes, hello, Femi. I think you are muted. I can't hear you. Okay, we don't hear you, so maybe try to leave and come back, and then maybe it'll be fixed by then. Okay, so before I'll bring you on Blaze, or while I'm waiting for Femi to fix, but I wanted to show something just so that people understand why I'm saying I don't think it's crazy that that Jennifer Echegini played from the left. So I don't know if you guys see my screen, but essentially this is how Echegini played for Juventus this past season. And as you can see, her heat map shows that she was on the left most of the time. So it is not something that is crazy or new. It's where she played a lot this past season. If you look at it on a percentage basis, in the middle, 16%, here 17, here 9, here 22. And these three positions are left midfield. Like I said, she's a left midfielder, not necessarily a winger. Left midfield is where she played 22% of the time. And then left winger, this is what 17 plus 9. That's 26% of the time. So, it wasn't a crazy decision by Randy Wardrum to play her from there. It just did not work out today. She just did not have a good game today. She only had, I think, 16 touches of the ball. So she didn't even really have a chance to have a great game today. But I believe that Echegini is a fantastic player and she will still come good for us eventually. Okay. I just wanted to show that very quickly. I see my guys here. Okay. Let me just bring on Blaze very quickly and then I'll bring you on as well. Blaze, yes, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So I'm actually a first-time caller. You need to buy bail for us.
I need to buy a bill. Thank you. Thank you for joining. You look like, sorry, before you talk, you look like this actor. I've forgotten his name. But
Don't
there's
say
one.
Will Smith, please. Don't say Will Smith.
No, no, he's a Nigerian actor I'm thinking of. I don't remember his name right now, but there's one Nigerian actor that you're reminding me of. But yes, what do you think of the game today? 1-0 defeat against Brazil.
Well, to be honest, I'll be quick here. To be honest, I think, in my opinion, the Super Falcons, if you see the way they play with their mind. They play like they're representing the country, unlike our Super Eagles. So I always feel joy watching our girls play. And today's game was actually very good. I don't know the name of that defender. That girl was exceptional. I can't remember her name now. That girl was very good today. And then, of course, giving it to Rashidat. But one thing I want the coach to do is, I maybe they should, like Felix was saying the last call. You should. I think the coach should work on our shooting skills and all of that. If you notice when Rashida has the ball and she then crosses, nobody's always there. There is nobody always there. So they need to work on their finishing, the most especially. And then more composure. The way they should be composed on how they move the ball around and all. Don't be shooting careless. Like they just, when they get to the 18, they just want to shoot the ball. They're just shooting with no particular intention. You get what I mean? They just shoot the ball. And so that's what I think. I think if they can work more on their shooting potentials, I think we have a chance. I am a believer of the Super Falcons. So in our group, even though it has been tagged the group of death, I want to give them their flowers. I believe they will do well. I'm sure they will. At least they will do. Nothing in this football, nothing is impossible. I never believed we will play Brazil like this. Brazil of all, when I was watching it, I was just like, even when they scored, I was like, okay, no problem. But so we'll do well. We'll do at the end of the day. Good game from the girls.
I like that you still have confidence. Keep on supporting the girls, and you never know. It's got one kick of the ball, all of a sudden we score Spain, and you never know what's going to happen. So
Exactly.
The girls can still do well. We need. I think 3 points might be enough to see us through, because
Exactly.
a team like Zambia, the way they've started now, they might lose all their matches. Some of these teams. So if we can even just secure 3 points and qualify as one of the best third place teams in the knockout rounds, anything can happen. But yes, thank you
Exactly.
very much, Blaze. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. I
No
hope to see
worries.
you more in the future.
I'm always here. We even go and find you now on Instagram.
All right, thank you very much.
No
Thank you.
worries. All right.
Okay, so that was Blaze. He still believes in the girls. Still thinks that we can have a good Olympics tournament. I just want to say, please, guys, on YouTube, like the video, like the video. We've had over 150 people join the program, but only 31 likes. Please, if you're on YouTube, like the video. It helps us grow. It helps the platform know that we're doing good stuff. It helps to show it to more people. So that we can keep on bringing you guys high quality content. So please, if you're on YouTube, make sure you like the video, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe as well. And of course, if you would like to support us one way or the other, you can always shop your merchandise on eaglestrackershop.com. You can see my Nigeria football t-shirts, rep Nigeria football. You can get caps, phone cases, hoodies, and a lot more on eaglestrackershop.com. If you're on YouTube, feel free. You can also leave a super chat. You can become a member of the channel, and you can support us in so many ways. We appreciate all of you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much for being a part of today's program. Okay, I'll bring two people on at once now. Let's just so that we can also speed things up. I see my Niger FC co-host is waiting patiently. So Smidlai, you're welcome to the program. And then
Yeah,
Smidlai,
thank
before you go, I'll also bring on Femi, because Femi has also been waiting for his opportunity to speak. So yes, Femi, is your mic working now?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh,
Thank you for joining.
yeah. Well, this is my first time calling, but actually
Wow.
I've been following for a long time.
Thank you. First time caller. I need to go and buy Bell. Seriously, I'll look for Bell. But yes, thank you, first time caller. So yes, 1-0 defeat for the Super Falcons against Brazil. How are you feeling?
Yeah, well, I just feel the game was good. The girls performed well. They gave their best. But I feel there's this conundrum of trying to combine Tony Payne and Eshigini, and I don't think that is actually working. Sometimes Randy tried to play Eshigini in the number 10 position and shift Tony Payne to the wings. And then we start having issues because we can't combine well when that happens. And again, I feel if Payne is playing at the center and Eshigini is on the left, Eshigini does not go back as much as any other winger to support Shidima. And that was why she was so exposed today and everybody is crying that she's poor. It's because there was nobody to help her. The same thing if Tony Payne should go to the right, like against South Africa, the second leg, when Tony Payne played on the right, she could not help Alozie to at the back, and that was Kariglana or whatever her name is, was having a free space until Randy had to remove Shigini, bring Payne to the middle, and then brought in, I don't know, I've forgotten, to the right, and then the game was going smoothly. So I think that's just the issue here, and I think we really missed Plumter. If you see the way the left back of Brazil was shooting from the left, switching to the right, there was nobody doing that for Nigeria. If you watch I know Smith Lai was referring to it some times ago against England. Go and look at the way Plumter will switch the ball from the left to the right side. There was nobody to do that. So, and they were blocking us in the middle. We could not switch to the wing as fast as we are supposed to from one wing to the other. I think that's just one of the problems with the match. But I think we will do better again against Spain. The Menu was a very good defender today, apart from the mistake in the first half where she and Shidima could not communicate well. I think that was the first time they are playing together. So it really showed again that there was no understanding. But it was a good team performance. I feel we can do better. And I feel again that our striker, maybe we should try something else. Maybe Okoronko against Spain, or possibly Oshuala, so that she can use her pace, because the Spanish defenders are not as fast as she will be. So those are just my thoughts about the match.
All right. Thank you very much, Femi. Thank you for joining and for sharing your thoughts. Nice to hear from you. And I hope to see more of you in the future.
Yeah, you see more of me.
All right. Thank you. So yes, Mitlai, welcome.
Yeah.
Before I get your thoughts, I saw one comment that I want you to start by responding to these comments, Mitlai. So somebody on, let me see, on YouTube, Real Case says Eche Guinea has never impressed in a Falcons jersey. I think she is one of those players that excels at club side but mediocre on national duty. Smidlai, how would you respond to this person?
I don't think it's fair to say that for Jennifer Shege. I just think that today wasn't that game. She was played out of position. And I think that if, when I told you earlier that I think she's better in that Tony Payne's role, let her run her defenders. And unfortunately, she spent most of her time trying to cover up for Chidema, because I was sitting beside them, those two people. And see, when I saw when that goal happened, I knew exactly what's going to actually was there, because you know, Chidima, that area blunt. No attacking coming from that place, and defending too was horrible. So for me, I think it's unfair to say Jennifer did not actually did not do well today because she was playing out of position. I think that if the coach can put her in the center, I think that she's going to be better against Spain.
Okay. And overall, what did you think of the game today? What can we improve? How can we do better in the coming matches?
Before I go into that, I just want to actually appreciate you too, because I now turned to a mini celebrity today. I saw you. I saw you. On YouTube. Yes, I subscribed. Are you like your team? I was everybody was like, so it was, I was, that showed that at least some people actually were listening, and I was so happy when I actually was a lot of people actually was saying. I saw like 3 people saying that. Are you now? I saw you in person. Tell me the truth now. Who's our new coach? You're just trying to like
yeah.
That is not YouTube again. So tell me the truth. So kudos to us for actually doing well. So I just want to say a few things. I think the missing link in that team was Ashley Plunter. I think I saw it was obvious that Chidima Okeke was actually out of place. Kudos. I knew that's why I was shouting. If I was shouting, maybe don't be confused. I was shouting, say, please, because I think they knew that most of the attack were coming through that wing. They knew that that's the weak link. So they want to actually exploit it. And secondly, too, I don't know how Deborah Abiodun made that grandma feel like a superstar. The grandma just turned to like a superstar, and she, we thought she's going to be their weak link. Now she's their strong link. She ended up being their strong link. So, I was so surprised, and that's where experience comes into play. If Anima Chade was there, I don't think we'd have been talking about this, because it's not about power. Sometimes you have to add some experience to it. That's what I'm talking about. Deborah Abiodun. But you can't just knock those guys like that. For me, I think it is all over. I think this is a game that we should at least get a draw from, and hope that maybe we can sneak in some few things from those two next games. For me, I think I'm not optimistic anymore. I just think that we should enjoy ourselves in this
Smith
Olympics.
like now you will get the most optimism. One match now you're not optimistic again.
No, no, no. What I saw, today, maybe because I was in the stadium, what I saw today, I just realized that though we tried, but to be honest with you, IoT, I think that team lacks some qualities in some areas. That team lacks some qualities in some areas. For example, now the three ladies at the back can hold their lines very well. Chidima could not hold that line. Because if she was planter, that'd been easier. The only missing link that was what happened. She could not. She kept that girl outside. So Animato and this another. I was saying something to one of our fans that stood. Genetro was also beside me, so I don't even know who he was supporting. But so I told someone beside me. I said that that World Cup, because we saw Deborah Abiodun against Canada, we are not even sure how she will perform against Australia, how she will perform against Ireland. We were not sure, but at least we knew how Adimato Adiashi did. So I think the team really missed someone that's very very strong in that middle, and that was how Mata dictated the play and everything. So for me, I think I wasn't impressed. I won't lie to you. I wasn't impressed. It was just like nearly. If we play poorly today and we won the game by actually won by 1-0, I'll still be happy. So,
Okay.
and I saw you in the group chat to say that should be a goal. I never believed in Jesus leading in the front line. I never believed in Jesus leading in the front line. So I just think that that first that was a waste. It was a pure waste. I think that the experiment, the experiment was backfired, and I think that he learned his lesson in the second half.
Okay, Smith, like I want to ask you a question, but before I do, I want to bring on Jubril, who has been waiting to share his thoughts. Welcome to the program, Jubril.
Hi, good evening. So I
Yes,
want
good
to talk
evening.
about so I feel we tried in some areas and I feel Tony Payne can do better in terms of creating properly for the team. So I also feel the formation is not working very well for us in terms of we don't have the Ashley Pointer available for us. So I would have gone for a three-man defense. Okeke, Dime, and Owale. Nico Payne playing the flank, and Aloze playing the flank also. That's man in the midfield and two strikers. Reason for two strikers is because what's her name? Rashidat Ajibade, she knows how to hold the ball, she could dribble people, and you just need somebody that is physical that could also hold the ball for her. Like when he crosses the ball from back, hold the ball for her, which she can dribble and pass them and maybe square the ball and score. So in this case, that would have been better where we had five man in midfield, two strikers up front, and three-man defense. So when we want to defend, you can defend like five in the back, and when we're attacking with much players in front. Because I feel the main problem of the team is just scoring goals. And I feel our coach has tried a bit to resolve some problems in the team. In terms of our defense line is very solid now. It's going to be very difficult for teams to beat us 5, 6, 7-0 or even 3 goals without we not scoring anything. So it's going to be very difficult for teams to just beat us as in high margins. But if you can resolve the problem of the link between the midfield and the attack, I feel will be better. And also, I got to a point when the game was ongoing, I could not even see anybody trying to attack. What was her name? Esther Okuronko came in. She was running around trying to like put something. Kano to like, she didn't bring anything to the table. Onumonu, I was surprised. She tried a bit where she combined with what's her name, Nicole. They tried to like cross the ball and make it faster a bit in that wing. But and also the problem with Echejini and Tony Payne, I just feel the coach should just decide on one person and stop trying to like bring two of them together every time if, we are having a competitive game. Decide on one person. Do you want Tony Payne to be the number 10 and give us a proper wingers to play in the wing, or use Echejini as number 10 and put a proper winger in the wing also, which would be much better in that case. Those are my opinion basically.
All
But I
right.
feel just change the formation will be better. Play 3-man defense, play 5 in the midfield, play 2 in the front. 2 in the front, in this case, one of these two of the people in the front will be like a number 10, where she could interchange with the person that is playing the 10 in the midfield role, where they can play slick passes, just one, two passes. Because the Brazilians were not fantastic at all. Like you could see like there's a moment at which we played them a bit and they were out of position. It was a moment that what's her name? Get award number 10 for us. She had a chance to have passed the
Uchebe.
ball to Aloze and allows her to move the ball forward and cross the ball. She just passed it to the striker directly without no aim at all. That one just control the ball and they could get the ball from her. At least just be composed in situations like that. I feel will be better off. And I feel we should give what's his name, the coach more time. You could see the direction at which it's going to. It is the way at which the team is playing, he has structured the defense properly. Maybe just lost work from his midfield and the attack, which will be the final boost for the team. But basically, in all, like the players tried their best and thank God we didn't lose more than one goals, which was nice also.
Okay.
Hopefully, the next match we could improve more than that.
Okay. One question for you before I let you go. Are you like Smithlai? Have you lost hope, or do you
No,
still
no, no,
believe
no, no. I'm
that
even
we can?
surprised Smith has lost because I know Smith is always hopeful in every team the Super Falcon plays. I'm not like Smith at this point. I'm hopeful. I feel we just need a very good game against the next opponent. Is this Spain or Japan? If we can get a draw or get a win, that will boost the players' confidence for the last game. Also, we just need a draw and a win at this point, so we can qualify as is it third place or second on the team on the
All
group.
right.
Sorry.
All right. Thank you very much, Jubril. Thank you for joining and sharing your thoughts. Nice
Yeah,
to hear
thank
from
you.
you. All right. Let me quickly just take comments again quickly, and then Smithlai, I'll bring you on, and I see Sleazy is waiting. Sleazy, I'll bring you on in a second as well. We have a number of comments on Instagram. Muyi King say, Smithlai, don't lose hope. Oh. Olu Olatunji says, Smith, no fall our hand. Oh. You are the one that usually gives hope to a lot of people. So if you say that you've lost hope, people's spirits are going to be dampened. Let me see. Della 56 says Okeke should not be anywhere near this team. Jonah 16 says Chinwendu should not be starting. She keeps missing chances even in our previous games and now today. Football is not all about strength. Okay. Let me see what else. Olutade says I don't see our players as intelligent enough to settle into a completely new formation in a major tournament like this. So I guess he's saying that they shouldn't switch formation in the middle of the tournament. They should play what they are used to. We also have some comments on Instagram. Unai Maker says, I think this game was 50-50. We missed some chances to score in the first half, but we didn't take our chances. Olatunji says the players did their best. Ola says we are relying too much on Ajibade. Let me see. Unai also says Chinwendu did well and put more pressure to Brazil in the first half, though she got a few chances. Next game, I think Oshola and Nicole will start. Williams says, IoT, we need more creative players in the Falcons team. Someone that can hold the ball and distribute. Okay, we just lost Mitlai. I was going to ask him a question, but I'll bring Sleazy on. Sleazy, yes, good evening.
Good evening, IoT. Can you hear me?
Yes, although we can hear the train in your background, but yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Sorted. Yeah. Thank you for having me. I would just comment to firstly comment on what Smitlai said, that he doesn't have hope. I mean, if Smitlai doesn't have hope, who should? Who else should be hopeful? I mean, yeah, but for today's game, I think because I lowered my expectations, I am really satisfied with the result. But I think the girls deserve more, at least, especially from the way they started the game. The first 30 minutes, they were able to keep their shape. They were able to like carve out chances with the help of Rashida Tajibade. But I think I'm going to like the speakers and their thoughts that Randy wrong with some of the players he started. He should have gone for some other players. I don't know what is happening in camp. I don't know if some of them are injured. I don't know if some of them were not performing well in training and all. But I just feel like a little bit change in attack of personnel would have given us a different result and put us in a better place to like get a grip and a stronghold in the game. But generally, I would just say they tried. Yeah, it was a good outing, but a bad result. And it happens in football. Football is a very cruel game. You start well, you don't take your chances. Your opponent gets into the game, they score, and that's it. So I think that was what happened today. But tactically looking at the game, I think we need to do more. Randy needs to. I think he needs at the beginning of the second half. I don't know if anybody agrees with me on that. I was expecting to see it, especially the center forward. I'm not knocking anybody, but she missed a sitter and then she was not in the game.
No, I mean he changed the Hazel at halftime. He changed the Hazel at halftime, so he did make a change. Okay. Sleazy, I think your connection is a bit bad because you're on the train. So Sleazy, just let me know when you're in a better place and maybe I'll bring you on. I was hoping for Smithlai to come back on because I wanted to ask him a question. But let me quickly just go back to the comments and see what you guys are saying. If you would like to join the show, the link is still on all platforms. So just call in, make sure you have a camera, and then you'll have a couple minutes to talk before we wrap up for this evening. Okay, so comments. Ordinaka says, LOL, qualifying with Japan and Spain remaining. You are joking. So Ordinaka doesn't think we can qualify. Muyi King says, I will suggest he sticks to 4-2-3-1, talking about the formation. LA Big or Aya Big O2 says, I beg, who is number 17? Talking about Uezo. Why is she starting before Onumonu or Oshuala? Super Dele says, keep the hope alive, Smitlai. The Oracle has spoken. The Super Falcons will qualify from the group. So Super Dele says, keep the hope alive. The Oracle has spoken. Muyi King says, 4-2-3-1 with tactical discipline. Ucheibe should be part of a double pivot, not CM. Okay. Fido Fizi is saying what happened to Gift Monday. Gift Monday is not in the team. Today is not really a good day for us to be talking about players that are not in the team. Let's talk about the game that we watched and what can happen in the future. There's no point going back to who is not in the team. Maybe after the tournaments, when we're doing a whole debrief, we can get into that. Real Case says inability to score goals is the nemesis of this World Drums team. Okay. Swiss media is saying, why was Mata so free, Ayo? The way he's asking me that question, you would think I was the coach or I was playing the game. I mean, I'm sure that the plan was not for her to be so free. If you look at her heat map, I was looking at Mata's heat map. She did not stand still throughout the entire match. She was everywhere. Again, people were saying, oh, she's 38, she does not have energy, she cannot do this, she cannot do that. She proved everybody wrong. She was everywhere. Look at her heat map. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but it's not very clear, but she was everywhere on the field, and unfortunately we just were not set up well enough to be able to deal with it. That's the unfortunate reality. I'm sure the coach would figure out what he can do to prevent that in the future. Lamere or Ayamere, I'm not sure, says it's only Ajibade Dimeni and the goalkeeper that played well. I was here and so fine girl. I always say, if you want to criticize players, But when you start saying things like, "Oh, now only fine girl," things like that, that's where you lose me. Her beauty has nothing to do with football. Yusuf, if you are fine, you'll be happy. So talk about her football, talk about her not playing well. When you start talking about now only fine girl, you lose me completely. Um, let me see. Julius says, "You Nigerians believe too much in miracles. Do you really believe that you can win Spain? Let's be realistic about this group. Too hard for our ladies. Lose against Brazil is a big blow." Okay, so Julius says it will take a miracle for us to defeat Spain. That we Nigerians we believe too much in miracles. Um, let me see. 12 step, this is your name. Says they should start Oshuala in the next match against Spain. She knows the Spanish team very well. I mean, a lot of them are her former teammates. Some of them are players that she's played against while she was in Spain. So, she should or she could be someone that can make an impact in that game. We also have, let me see, Fidofi says, "I think Onomonu should be played up front with Rashidat behind and Asisa should come on for Ifoma in the second half." Um, the team is designed to break down the team isn't designed to break down a structured defense. That is what somebody else is saying on Instagram, Mr. Demoshaw. And then Busi McJoe says draw against Spain and W against Japan. So he still believes 4 points and we'll go through. All right, Abe Monaco, I see you've been waiting. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining.
Hi, IoT, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, to be honest with you, the game was interesting. The ladies, they did so well. And I won't say I'm not expecting so much from them. I know we could match the Brazilians. I know we could give them a tough time. But if we can look back at how we played at the World Cup compared to today's game, and you will agree with me that our transitioning from the midfield to the attack has always been a bit of an issue for us. I don't know if Randy has not really been able to get that aspect of our game. It has been like our major issue, scoring goals, and most times I expect Spain to, I don't know, maybe to do better. Ujebe tried a lot today. She tried to do a lot of shooting from distance, moving the ball forward. But I would say today we meet some two key and important players in that field. Ashley Plonter on the left and Alimatu Ayinde in that midfield. You understand? Because no matter how much Abiodun tried, running after to match up Mata and match up the other midfielders as well, she needs someone of that caliber to complement her in that midfield, and that really shows that somebody of more experience in Alimot to caliber is not there in the midfield today. So it really affects the game. And up front, actually, I won't say Eyezu is she's poor. She did her best, but I think I will always prefer. I don't know Ichegini in the left. No, I think I'm always prefer Kanu on that left flank. Yes, why I'm saying is Kanu knows how to score. She one way or the other, she always find a way to score the goal. You understand? I think I'm always prefer on that left flank better than somebody else in that place. So she can run through the defenders, she can score, she has the height. You understand? I think I'll prefer her to start on the left flank, on the Ajibade on the right flank, and maybe Onomonu at the center back. And we can still continue putting pain behind her in the next game. And maybe I wasn't expecting as that. Maybe I was thinking maybe the coach will bring her on and maybe at 75 minutes and see maybe we can change the game. But I think Randy should try as much as possible. Maybe we need someone, maybe like a striker as a coach who understand what it takes to score a goal in our team. Just like what Manchester United did last year, they brought this South African striker Benny McCarthy to the team, and right now they brought Rude Van Nistelrooy again. So we need something like that too. We need to score a goal, and we need to find a way to score a goal.
Will you drop the budget to hire that striker coach?
Oh yeah, now we can. Me and you now. Me and you now.
Okay,
You are going
but before I let you go, I want to ask you a question. When you talk about Randy Waldrum, unfortunately, his team we've not been able to find a way to score. Is it a coaching problem or is it a personnel problem? Because Ihezuo should have scored. She had a fantastic opportunity to score. We also had another chance. It was a half chance. I think it was from the clever set piece, the corner kick that Tony Payne took. And she crossed the ball, and Dimension had a header that she headed over the bar from close range. Under a bit of pressure, but again, you can kind of look at that and say she should have at least got her header on target. So, can the coach say, hey, like, I create a few chances in every game, my players just don't score? What do you think about that?
Okay, yeah. What I will say is this: we are not a team that creates like plenty of chances, and we should know that. Uh, Most of the time, what we need is take our chances. I will say this like a 50-50 blame on either the coach and the players as well. We don't have that kind of players like in Asishat in the past that we are sure of she's going to give us that thing, that goal, one way or the other. You understand? Now, the kind of players we have are not the one that are sure of getting us that goal anyhow. They are good, yes, but scoring that goal is difficult for them if you look at it. So now we all have our parts to play as the coach and the player. One chance, two chance that we have. Let's bet assume that we bury that first chance that we see today. The game dynamics will have changed. And at the end of the day, we might end up maybe winning that game, maybe 2-1 or so. You understand? So each and everybody, we need to understand our job on the field of play. Let's try as much as possible to take our chances. We don't create so much chances because of the way we played. We are so much good from the back, getting to the middle, but there's a little issues between just the midfield to our attack, because most times if you look at that front line, the Brazilians are more comfortable playing in that role, in that place today. They are more comfortable, but we can do better in our next game. I believe in these ladies. I have high hope in them, and I know they can do better. To be honest, so
Right.
we look at the next game and we see we are playing Spain next, right?
Yes, Spain next on the 28th, 3 days time.
They won today, but I don't think they are special. That is what I say. This is to be honest.
I mean, they are world champions. Nothing special. They're just world champions. But
See,
I
football
hear you.
now is beyond name.
It's not name, it's accomplishments. We're not looking at just their name. We're looking at the fact that they are the world champions. They have not the women. They have two Ballon d'Or winners on their team. Hey, I'm not saying we'll lose to Spain, but I think we have to respect them. They're a good side. But thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Abi Monaco. Nice to hear from you.
All right. Thank you. Why? Good to hear from you.
Okay, we're going to wrap up in about 15 minutes. Let me just go back to the comments very quickly, and then I'll bring the next caller on. Smith, if you are still here, I want to ask you a question, so please come on. Just to Slime says, I don't want to hear anybody say our girls tried. If we played the whole time the way we played from the 60th minute, we could have won. So just to Slime thinks that they could have done much better in the whole game and not just for a couple minutes. Again, I'm pretty sure that their plan was not to be sluggish, for 30 minutes of the game. Sometimes in football, you have a plan, but it doesn't happen according to the plan. But I understand your sentiment. Mayor Dollar says Kanu should have started. She is our best scorer. I mean, I also wanted Kanu as the number 9. I don't like Kanu from the flank, but put her in the box to head balls in, to take shots where she doesn't have to think too much. She doesn't have to make too many decisions. Just finish. I am definitely a fan of Kanu in those positions. Costa Chen says Spain will give us 2 or 3 easy. LOL. So that's a negative person that doesn't believe that we have a chance against Spain. Coach Obi Ojumadu says time has shown that it is more like a personnel problem. An attacking coach won't help you if the players can't rise to the occasion. Our midfield doesn't connect well with the attack. So Coach Obi is saying, hey, he doesn't think Randy Wardrum is to be blamed for our lack of goal scoring. You know, if our players are missing and our players are not doing that well, then what can we say? Costa Chen says we're supposed to win this game and draw Japan. Nothing for us in that Spain game. Okay. De La S55 or De La 56 rather says just a few problems here and there that can be worked on. Hot Fishy 100 says I watch our number 3 very closely. That girl is heavy and can't move. I don't comment on things like that. But yeah, if you say so. Um, Let me see. There's also somebody on YouTube that I don't like his comment, so I'm not going to read that out. Again, I think let's keep our comments within reason to things that are football and things that we can actually back up with facts, rather than just maybe being just unnecessarily negative when you're talking about certain people. Somebody says we missed Ashley Plumter's passes. Yeah, I mean, we can cry over who was not there, but yeah, I think we definitely missed her from the left because we don't have another great quality left back in the side. Real cases, Oshuala has passed her prime. The coach benching her testifies to this. You know, is she past her prime? Maybe. Is she that bad that she cannot impact the game in 15 minutes? I don't agree. I wouldn't say so. I still think Oshuala has quality. It might just be one shot. It might just be one chance. Look at the game against Australia. It was just one opportunity, and she scored a fantastic goal for us. So, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. Soft Studio says the problem starts from selection of players. I disagree with that. Maybe you can explain a little bit more. Who should he have selected? I disagree that the problem was from selection of players. Whether you're talking about the 18 called up or you're talking about the starting 11, when the lineup came out, almost everybody said this is a good lineup. This is a good lineup. Hindsight is 2020. When things don't work out, it's very easy to go and say, "Oh, coach should have done this, coach should have done that." We just didn't show up on the day. Chineme says we really lacked bites going forward. Yeah, we did lack bites going forward. Other than Ajibade, the threat was not really there as much as it should have been. Swiss media says I believe that we will beat Spain. Spain can't be physical with us. They can't be physical with us, but they can pass the ball around us if we're not careful. Football is not just about physicality, but I understand what you're saying. Maybe we can use our physicality to our advantage against the Spaniards. Mimi says McLean is a good striker and she has scored the highest this season out of all the strikers. Yes, I think McLean is a good striker. Yes, she has scored the most goals this season. Her season is still going on. Other people's seasons have ended, so it depends on how you're looking at it. Because some other people scored goals when their season was on. But I think she's just a different kind of striker. She's more of a physical, target woman type of striker. And again, she has not played that many minutes on around the wardrobe. So maybe he just trusts other people more. Against a team like Japan, I'm not sure exactly how tall she is, but I know that the Japanese players are quite short. So maybe she can just bully them in the air and we can be crossing ball for her against Japan. But I would like to see if the coach would use her or not in this tournament. Okobia Ifeanyi says both teams were evenly matched or equally matched. The difference was matter. Asoft Studio is saying he's talking about the players called up. If you're talking about players called up, I wholeheartedly disagree. I don't think that there was anything wrong with the selection of the players that were called up. Maybe you can say, oh, you prefer this player, you prefer that player, but I am not even the coach and I can defend every single player that was called up. So I wouldn't necessarily agree that he made a wrong decision with the players that he called up for the tournament. Fido, well, I don't know if it's Fido or Fido, but yes, welcome to the program.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yes. Good. So I'll just quickly give my take because of time. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go on.
All right. So these are my take. I think first, Randy Wardrum is not a bad coach. He has really tried over time. And in terms of the people he brought to this tournament, the ladies that he brought, I mean, he was quite selective in choosing them and all. But I feel for this match, I feel that he should not have started this lady, Ihezuo. I don't know the striker. I feel he should not have started her probably because of I don't know. I'm sure she's also a good striker in our way and all that because I've not really seen much about her. But I feel that maybe the tension in this first match most likely it's Brazil. Brazil is a good footballing country, be it female or male. So I think maybe the pressure at first. So I think maybe Randy should have tried someone more familiar with the terrain and all that. Then two, when Michel Aluzi was brought to the left back and Nico Payne was brought inside also. I feel that it should start with that because this other girl that played the girl that initially played the left back, I KK or so, I think had too many loopholes and she didn't help the flow of the team generally. So I'm thinking if we are going to start next match, let Michel Alozie start on the left, let Nico Payne start on the right. Because you would see more mobility up front and that defense to still had a bit of its rigidity and like it was still good when Nico Payne and Michel Alozie switched. And also I think for me, that those are the things that you should look at. Then up front, I'm not sure about him starting the Israel girl. So I'm thinking if Uche Nakanu can start, or because I also feel that we need someone that can come in second half to change the game and all that. And I feel Uche Nakanu would be would be good in that as people are not big fan of this Ifoma up front. But I feel that whoever they are pairing up front, they should not leave her as a single nine. She should be properly supported with Ajibade and Chodi Payne. Like there should be a lot of choke in that forward because over time, one of the things you see even in World Cup and Nations Cup, you see that Super Falcons are suffering from goal scoring. They're suffering from someone that can really just take that chance, take that shot, create a chance out of nothing against England in World Cup, we really suffered. And fine, we had some chances, some very good chances against England in the World Cup. But I think that this is becoming a consistent problem. We are not scoring. We are playing well. We are playing defense. We are playing midfield. But we need goals. We need goals to enter. So I think Randy Wardron should look really into that. Then lastly, Brazil were not all that good, but they were clinical in some areas. In terms of Mata literally found ways to control the game. She was throwing long passes at some point in time, and they were able to even identify our left back in a way that was our weak point. So if you see Mata's movement, like you said, and like you said earlier on the line, that our heat map was round the field. So if you see her movement, she read the game and decided to create different chances in she created chances up front and they had good clinical finishers. I don't know what's her name, Gabi Nunes. I don't know the lady that scored. She had the chance, aimed for it, knew at least what she wanted to do with the ball. So for me, Brazil was not actually they were superb that we could not have. As when we took our chances, I mean the first time that we had, we could have created a lot more pressure and had that confidence. More, to be very honest, Spain is not neither is Japan and all. But I know that yes, Super Falcons have been known to pull surprises even when you expect
All
them to.
right.
Thank
All
you
right.
very much.
Thank you very much, Fido. Thank you for joining and for sharing your thoughts. I'll let you go now. All right. Um, I think we have time for one more caller. Just 2-3 minutes. So Odia Ebose, if you would like to come on, turn on your camera. If not, I'll just take comments. I'll give my final thoughts, and then we'll call it an evening. We're almost at the 2 hour mark, so we have just less than 5 minutes to wrap up. Very quickly, let me just go back to the comments. Mayodola says Nicole Payne looked sharp and I want her to start the next game. Meshket said, waiting do coach and Oshwala. Again, if you joined earlier, I asked that question. Why did Oshwala not play? I don't know. There was no press conference after the game, so nobody was able to ask the coach. Maybe they will ask him after one of the trainings tomorrow or the day after. We'll see what they say. But I also think that a player like Oshwala, even if it was the last 15, 20 minutes, could have made a difference. But unfortunately, the coach did not use her. Odia Ebose, welcome. Are you there?
Yeah, how you doing, sir? How you doing?
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm good.
I watched the game today. I didn't even know she played, man, but I watched the game today. I feel like
What? Sorry, did you say you didn't watch the game?
I watched the game today, but I didn't know she didn't play.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know she didn't play, so I was
Okay.
even wondering where she was on the pitch because I didn't really see her that much. But I'm pretty sure she didn't play due to some display issues. But I think overall Nigeria played very well. I mean, you're playing against one of the best teams in the world. You're playing against Malta and Brazil, so it's not like it's one of those games where you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. I'm saying it's one of those games where Nigeria played really good. I think maybe having Plumtree on the field, even though she's injured, would have helped us out a little bit. I think overall, as Nigerians, we should be very happy. Play great. To hold Brazil to one goal, 90 minutes, that's impressive, man. Brazil is full of attacking powers. So for Nigerian team to hold Brazil to one goal, very impressive. I'd love to see what Waldron's going to do with the Asha the Shola situation because she didn't play very surprised to me because you probably know that she's probably our best attacking player on the team. Her and Michelle Lozzi, the defender from the Houston Dash. So I think Nigeria played well overall. I'm proud the way they played. Even after the goal was scored by Brazil, they didn't come back in halftime. You know, sometimes when that happens, team comes back in the second half, they play really flat. But throughout the whole game, Nigeria really was pressing. They had chances. It just didn't go in. It was not day. So now we have 2 more games to see what we can do. But I think we can win the next 2 games. We're gonna need Asha back in the lineups. Hopefully, whatever issue that she had with the coach or whatever injury, whatever is going on with her, should be rectified. But overall, Nigeria played well, and I think we played well, my brother. I don't know how you saw the game, but I think overall, as a Nigerian supporter, we feel proud.
All right. Thank you very much for joining and for sharing your thoughts. I'll let you go now just because we're almost out of time. But yes, nice to hear from you. Okay. So yes, we can't take any more callers, but let me just quickly read some of the last comments and then I'll respond to one question that someone had asked. Esom Studio says it's only under wardrobe that the Super Falcons suffer from goal scoring. I'm not sure if you've been watching Nigeria, but before Wardrum came, how did we perform at the 2019 World Cup? How many goals did we score? So I'm not sure exactly what you've been watching. Again, if you don't watch the team a lot, if you're not that familiar, or maybe you just forget things easily, you can make comments like this. We score a lot of goals in Africa. We will still score a lot of goals in Africa. If you put an African nation, Ethiopia, Cape Verde, all these countries in front of us today, with Waldrum, we will score a lot of goals. But it's not, we've never had it easy against these top teams in the world. That's just the reality. Before we used to lose by multiple goals. Now we only lost by 1. I'm not saying we should be happy in a defeat, but trying to blame the coach, I just think it's a weak argument. But yeah, Ebube says we might just pull up a surprise against Spain. Let's see how it goes. But overall, I am optimistic. Abi Adeyeye says, please leave our coach and team alone. In any case, most of us are not qualified to coach any team. Please stop hyping our team. They are so good. Just encourage them to do better. Okay. And then let me see if I have any comments on Instagram to take as well. Okay, nothing new on Instagram or nothing specific that people are talking about. So just to wrap up, I wanted to answer a question from, I believe it was Samuel. Yes, Samuel says, what changes and formation would you make to the Falcons team for their match against Spain on Sunday? So I'll say to this, I would say stick with the same formation. That is the way the team has been setting up for a number of years now, under Randy Waldrum. Stick to the formation. In terms of personnel changes, what changes would I make? I would bring on Nicole Payne and I would take off Chidima Okeke. I just think today Chidima Okeke wasn't quite on the same page as the rest of our teammates. Again, I can forgive players sometimes for maybe not tackling properly, not passing properly, making errors in your physical play. But something like just not knowing where the defensive line is, and small quote unquote amateurish errors like that are the ones that pain me. And I think, in the few minutes that Nicole Payne came on and showed herself, she showed that she was more coordinated and she was more tactical than Okeke. So I'll probably say, hey, let Nicole Payne come on for Chidima Okeke. If you have to move Alozie to the left for that, Alozie showed a decent showing of herself today when she played on the left for the last, was it 15-20 minutes of the game. So I'll probably do that. I'll stick with the midfield of Abiodun and Christy Uchebe. In fact, they are really our only options in that midfield, and they are good players. I would play Echegini in front of those two midfielders. Even though I was saying earlier that yeah, Echegini plays from the wing, she plays from the left sometimes for her club, she plays from the right sometimes for her club. But I will say I would play her in the middle in this game and see what she can do. I would play Ajibade from the right. I would play Tony Payne from the left. Tony Payne is pretty good at cutting onto her right foot and shooting. She can also whip in a good cross. Ajibade, even though she's a natural left winger and I like her from the left, I want her to go up against Olga Carmona of Spain. She has Carmona's number. She deals with Carmona whenever they play the Madrid derby in the Spanish La Liga Femenina, and I would like to see what she can do in that game. Of course, wingers always have the ability to swap wings at different moments in the game and just to give the defender something different, to go up against, so that it's not always the same idea or the same person coming up against them. And then up front, my number 9, I will start with Uche Nakanu. I said this before the game against Brazil today. I wanted Uche Nakanu to be the striker. I like Uche Nakanu as a finisher. I think she's probably going to be the most clinical of the options that we have. I think she will score more goals than Ihezuo. I think she will probably score in tougher situations than Okoronkwo. I wouldn't not give Okoronkwo her credit. She does well for the Super Falcons. Her goal scoring record for the Super Falcons is quite good. But I think in a tough game like that, where chances may be few and far in between, I would like Kanu to be the one that one chance in the box, the ball just falls to her, or that one header that she has to finish, the ball just falls to her. So I would go with Uche Nakanu up front. I would definitely bring Oshuala on at some point in the game, maybe for the last 30 minutes. I would definitely bring Oshuala on. A lot of people don't watch her play. They make silly comments about her, like somebody has been talking on YouTube. I had to suspend him for 10 minutes. Oshuala is not the player that she was, but if you actually watch her play, you will see that she still has that intelligence. She can still strike a ball. She can still convert a chance if she gets the opportunity. So I will probably play her for the last maybe 25 minutes of the game against Spain. But yeah, that's what I would change. Some of it is in hindsight, like the OKK one is in hindsight that I'm making that change. Moving Eche Guinea to maybe is a little bit in hindsight. But the Kanu one, I've always felt like, yes, he should start with Uchenna Kanu up front. And, I think she'll be able to take one or two chances that fall her way. There we have it, guys. Thank you very much to everyone that tuned in today. We still have over 530 something people that are tuned in, that are watching. I appreciate every single one of you guys for joining me. Like I mentioned, if you want to support the channel, please, you can leave a super chat on YouTube. You can shop merchandise on eaglestrackershop.com, and multiple other ways. You can even just a subscription, just a like, just a share, just a follow helps us in one way or the other. If you're on YouTube, we only have 53 likes when we've had over 190 something people watching. Please hit the like button before you leave. Just, it sends that signal to YouTube that these people are putting out good content and we should recommend it more to other people. It also helps us grow. Just hit the like button before you go. And then, yes, the Super Falcons have another game coming up on the 28th against Spain. Make sure you support the girls, and we hope that they will make us proud. Until next time, my name is Ayot T. This is Eagle Striker, the home of Nigerian football.